You run a Doctor Who channel but haven't seen any classic Who? Seriously? He's a Doctor Who channel but has never seen classic Doctor Who. I'm 16 and I've seen it. These are just some of the lovely comments that I get every single day.
Come on, Crispy, you never want to watch classic Doctor Who with me.
So I set myself a challenge. Watch 7 classic Doctor Who stories from 7 doctors in 7 weeks. So strap in because today we're watching... Whoa, it is 7 a.m. 7 a.m. waking up in the morning and my work day is about to start, but not before I watch some classic Doctor Who. We're watching the Second Doctor today and it's going to be one of these 2 stories. Either Enemy of the World or Web of Fear, because I just happened to grab 2 Second Doctor ones out of that DVD bin that my friend Tim gave me. Love you, Tim. And I don't know which one I should be watching, so I put it to Twitter being like, hey, which one's better? And we're going to have a look at the results right now. Easily the Web of Fear. The fact that Loza here says easily, they have a lot of confidence in this, and if it's not good, I'm just gonna blame Loza. Let's see what happens. I have quite literally no idea what's going to happen in this story. Is this the Yeti? Is this the Yeti that people keep talking about? Oh, hang on, I should address an elephant in the room. On my nails, I don't know if you can see that, but it says Brat, because on the weekend I went and saw Charlie XCX, and I know we're talking about Web of Fear today, but Charlie XCX is a web of sheer talent. And my boss wrote Brat on nails. I've never done this before. Will I again? Maybe. But anyway, enough chit chat. Like and subscribe and let's watch the Web of Fear, shall we? Let's start that PlayStation.
That noise gets me every time. But hey, what the heck is the Web of Fear about? Well, the TARDIS narrowly avoids becoming engulfed in a cobwebby substance in space. It arrives in the London Underground, the tunnels of which are being overrun by the mysterious web, produced by the Great Intelligence's robot Yeti. Doctor and companions rock up and see a familiar face, Professor Travers, who they first met in the Himalayas 30 years earlier. But the Professor accidentally reactivates one of the Yeti, opening the way for the Intelligence to invade again. The Doctor companions and this Professor work with the army led initially by Captain Knight and then by a surprise cameo which I was not expecting. As they battle this alien menace, it becomes clear that the Great Intelligence has control over one of them and there is a traitor in our midst. I truly wish I had read the synopsis before I watched this episode and you are about to see why.
Alrighty, first twist out of all this is that it's 6 episodes long.
Someone tell me what the hell is going on here?
Well, you know what time it is. Let's do it.
The episode started very strong. I love when an episode starts with the TARDIS crashing. It's one of my favorite things, okay? I love chaos! And I must say, right out the gate, what a glorious looking episode. The start had some excellently directed bits and it looks like a horror movie.
It's living up to the fear part of the Web of Fear. Where does the web come into it? Yetis can't spin web.
Well, somebody was spinning web because the TARDIS has some serious cobwebs, and I ain't talking big finish. After an exciting start, the episode did seem to drag on a little bit, but the TARDIS team eventually made it down to the London Underground. The Doctor was closely examining some crates that were covered in web, which had some bombs in them, and the Doctor is thrown from the platform, thus ending episode 1.
Okay, Web of Fear Part 1. I think I'm enjoying it. As per usual with Part 1s, I'm not quite sure what's going on. There is definitely a Yeti that gets like activated through a sphere, unless I'm making that up. I must sound so dumb. This is the first time I'm ever seeing this episode, but I mean, it's a delight to see Patrick Troughton. Victoria and Jamie are actually companions that I know because I watched Tomb of the Cybermen, and that was one of my favorite Troughton stories. But it looks like the Yetis are causing havoc and they're gonna blow up an underground tunnel. Let's see what happens in Part 2.
As I started episode 2, I decided to make myself a yummy beverage. I made a Milo, which is an absolutely iconic Aussie drink that I have sometimes. And as I'm editing this now, I just realized I chose a Vegemite mug. It truly doesn't get more Australian than this. Come on! Jokes aside, it started to dawn on me that there were things in this episode that were very confusing to me.
Alright, so Victoria and Jamie have met this beautiful bearded man before. Is this story a sequel and I don't know it? There's no mention on the back cover that it's a sequel. Have I missed something? Am I dumb? Am I a dumb man?
Gotta be my pal. Tell me.
Am I a dumb man?
This story was a sequel to The Abominable Snowmen. So there were lots of references and things I was missing and completely misunderstanding.
I will say I do love the concepts of like these companions meeting someone in the past and then accidentally meeting them again, but it's way in the future and they've aged and the companions have not. That's fun.
Whoa, oh my gosh, Yeti fight scene. These bastards are huge.
She's conspiring.
So anyway, Jamie and the soldier dude look up and see that the web's approaching. There seems to be no escape, and then there is an incredibly loud screeching noise, and the episode ends.
Episode 2, oh boy. Severe lack of Patrick Troughton this episode, but I guess when you have a 6-part story, you gotta kind of spice things up, and hey, get rid of the lead actor for episode 2. This episode had an absolutely incredible action sequence. I love that stuff. That would have popped off in the 60s. And I'm enjoying everyone's motivation. Everyone seems to actually have purpose in this story. There's a lot of being like, hey, the doctor and the companions, they're all spies. Something's going on here, and the Yeti, they're working for the doctor. And they're in the London Underground, or as I like to call it, the Lunderground. And for some reason, it's making me think that the Snowman in 2012 directly references this episode. Am I making it up? Is the Great Intelligence involved with the Yeti? Is that what's going on? I don't really know what the Great Intelligence is apart from Richard E. Grant. So I could be completely off here and that could be like my brain not functioning well. But I think the Great Intelligence has something to do with this. Anyway, let's watch episode 3.
And just as I was starting to get into this story, I was hit with a total shock. This is one of the many episodes from classic Doctor Who that are missing. And to counter this, the BBC made a telesnap for episode 3.
Okay, I'm now realizing that this is what they call a telesnap recreation. I've never seen a telesnap reconstruction before.
A telesnap recreation is basically the process of recreating a lost television episode by using still photographs taken directly from the television screen during its original broadcast, often combined with surviving audio, basically making a slideshow version of the missing episode.
This one's gonna be rough, I think. Enjoying a piece of black and white television, you know, that's not something I tend to usually do. A piece of television from the 60s is not something I tend to do. But watching a reconstructed telesnap, like this is interesting. This is new for me. This is uncharted territory.
And just when I thought all hope was lost, I saw a familiar face.
Did the Brigadier just rock up? Oh my gosh, it is the Brigadier. What?
In his first ever Doctor Who appearance, what?
Wow, it is a Lethbridge-Stewart. That is, I had absolutely zero clue that the Brig met the second Doctor.
But even with a familiar face, I did really struggle to get through episode 3.
It's my face when watching this episode. Whoa, we're officially halfway through this story, and telesnap recreations. Nuh-uh, not for me. It's fine, honestly. I'm glad that this episode is preserved in some form. I'm pretty sure they did an animated version. They did do an animated version of Web of Fear episode 3, which I will check out sometime. Oh, maybe not. Mr. TARDIS's video is called "Oh dear, what's happened with Web of Fear episode 3?" Mr. TARDIS does not seem very happy about it. Is this the weird oh, my light just died. Is that the one with weird animation? Anyway, look, I was just very surprised that the Brigadier rocked up, and as I said, I didn't know that the Brigadier met the second Doctor. I think that's awesome. But I'm sure a lot of the people watching this video will know that there are a plethora of Doctor Who episodes that have been erased from existence. And to put everything simply, back in the 60s, a lot of the old Doctor Who episodes were recorded over from the BBC because it was like a storage issue. You couldn't actually hold a physical piece of media for that long, so they used it for other shows. So there's a lot of Doctor Who episodes that are missing, and Web of Fear 3 is one of them. Or is it? Apparently this episode exists and someone has a copy of it and it's been stolen and they've done it for purely financial reasons. So there's like a private collector? So there's someone holding this episode for ransom? Huh? Let it go. Okay, I'm going to be very, very late for work and I can't use the excuse, oh, I was watching a telesnap reconstruction. So I'm going to go. I'm very interested in this episode so far. I think I'm following along with everything, and I'm pretty sure the rest of the episodes are there in their entirety. So I will see you after work, or probably tomorrow morning. Good morning, everyone. It is day 2 of the Web of Fear. Oh, I'm so scared. So essentially, I checked that poll I put out on Twitter, and everyone was like, hey, you should definitely be watching Enemy of the World instead, because I've now realized, doing just a teeny bit of research, that this is in fact a sequel to an earlier story called The Abominable Snowman. So I'm watching a sequel with a telesnap, which is not great for me. Nah, f it, I'm still having a good time with this story. I mean, I like Troughton, I'm enjoying the companions, and the Yeti look pretty damn cool. But I'm going to finish this story this morning, so I'm going to stop faffing about and we're going to watch it right now.
And with episode 4, I decided to have some brekkie, which was exciting. A balanced breakfast and classic Doctor Who is the perfect way to start your day. 9 out of 10 doctors agree. Anyway, episode 4 has an ensemble cast. There are so many people in this episode, but I think I just witnessed a bit of Doctor Who history.
So he's just told the Brig about how he is a time traveler and how he can travel throughout time and space in the TARDIS. And I think that's a bit of history. I think I just witnessed a bit of history, you know, one of the Doctor's most beloved friends and companions finding out about the TARDIS for the first time. I think that's pretty special. Oh, something's happening.
Seeing stuff like this reminds me as to why I'm doing this series. I want to see important bits of Doctor Who lore, so that was pretty special to me.
Okay, so it's definitely the Great Intelligence, and it seems that the Intelligence somehow lured the Doctor here for some reason. I'm not quite sure how the Doctor fits into their plan, but the Intelligence are after and have captured the magnificently bearded man.
And then there was an insane fight scene. Look at these Yetis, they are such a formidable force.
The Yeti are huge. They are massive. They're out of here. Oh, it is army thick.
End of episode 4.
The best thing that episode 4 had going for it was the fact that the Yeti are such a intimidating presence. They are huge. They're actually a physically intimidating presence, which I don't think we get like that much of in New Who. I mean, we've been dealing with gods and stuff a lot recently, and that's a different kind of threat. But these guys, the Yeti are like, bam! Bam! And they took out their entire army. The only person to survive is the Brig. Thank God he survived. I feel like Doctor Who would be very, very different if the Brig died in his first appearance. But if the Yeti don't feel like punching you, they use their damn silly string, which is a fate worse than death. I hate silly string. I hate running into spider webs. That is horrible. But hey, pretty damn good episode. Let's get into episode 5.
Episode 5 started and I was watching Patrick Troughton and remembering just how good he is as the Doctor. We wouldn't have the show today if Patrick Troughton's Doctor didn't work out. He is an absolute presence on the screen and I can see why Matt Smith has him as his favourite Doctor.
I just love Patrick Troughton as the Doctor. They're still running the plot thread that someone in their midst is a traitor. I don't know who it's going to be. It can't be any of the Doctor and companions. I don't think it's the Brig.
As I continued watching, it finally struck me as to what the connection was from this episode to 2012's The Snowman.
So something just hit me. In 2012's The Snowman, which is another Great Intelligence story, the Doctor has a lunchbox with the London Underground map on it. And I'm pretty sure that gives the Great Intelligence the idea to attack the London Underground. So the Snowman is a prequel to this, and this is a sequel to the Abominable Snowman. Doctor Who was insane.
Speaking of insane, the Doctor hacks one of the spheres and plugs it into the Yeti, and he can now control it with his voice commands. We have a Yeti on our team. Who's the traitor? Where is the Great Intelligence?
So the plot of this episode is that they Toy Story 3 factory reset one of the Yeti. I wish that this Yeti was a full-time companion. We've had a robot dog, we've had a robot Cyberman head. Can the Yeti even get into the TARDIS? Yeah, I mean, that episode wasn't as exciting as episode 4. The cliffhanger was fine. It is funny when you have a 6-part story because you do have 5 cliffhangers. I'd feel like they do slightly lose their appeal by the 5th one. But I love me some Patrick Troughton. We've got a Yeti on our side. Things are happening. How are they going to save the day? I have no idea, to be perfectly honest, and that's why we are now going to watch episode 6. Episode 6, we see this guy get captured by some Yeti. Patrick Troughton plays the flute. Whoa, flute alert, there it is. The Yeti are actually incredibly terrifying and loud, but they also look like they'd give a really nice hug. You know, they're probably big softies. And we get the coolest shot I have ever seen in classic Doctor Who. I mean, look at that. That is gorgeous. And the betrayer ended up being this guy.
This guy right here. Good-o. Excellent.
Anyway, they've got the Doctor in their trap now. I'm not quite sure what they're trying to do with the Doctor, but please, save the day!
The Doctor then gets trapped inside this pyramid, and then Jamie takes it upon himself to get him out of there. And then the Doctor wastes no time getting out of there. He's like, see ya! Bye! Have a good one! And that's the end of the story.
We did it! Another classic Doctor Who story down. Web of Fear, what an interesting one. As I said, it was a sequel story and it had a telesnap recreation. I understand now there's an animated version, which I very much would like to check out, even though it's got some backlash. Even though it had that against it, I thought that was a really, really fun story. The Great Intelligence, I think, is a pretty cool villain, and dare I say, better used here than in New Who. I found the Great Intelligence very, very creepy, the whispering tone. And you never actually saw him. In New Who, I kind of assumed that Richard E. Grant was the Great Intelligence, but he's not. He's just the guy that's been possessed. And in this, they had a really, really good mystery as to, who's been possessed by the Great Intelligence. I thought that the Yeti were fantastic. I really want a Yeti. I could get like a Yeti beanbag. Can you imagine rocking up to the living room? Like if I was able to put a Yeti beanbag right here, that would be fantastic. To be honest, I thought they were an absolutely fantastic monster for Doctor Who. Well, robot, I suppose. But boy, oh boy, the sound effect they made was insane. That would have scared the absolute bejesus out of me in the 60s. So look, I had a lot of fun with it. It had quite a large cast, but given the number of episodes, I felt like we actually got a bit of time with each of the cast, and I kind of understood their motivations a bit more. Did it need to have that many people? Probably not, but it was good. Patrick Troughton is one of the greats. Jamie, Scottish Jamie, he was fantastic. I feel like Victoria kind of got sidelined a bit this story. I felt like they were trying to constantly find things for her to do, but I enjoyed the chemistry of the whole TARDIS team. I thought that that's quite fun, especially in the last scene here when they're trying to get back to the TARDIS and they're like, oh, we're gonna go. What if the Yeti come back? And the Doctor's like, the Yeti? Pff, what? You just got to worry about if the trains come back on. And the companion like, the trains? What? That's fun. That's great. That's fantastic banter. That's perfect banter. But overall, as a story, I don't know. I think it was good. I think I had a good time with it. But I can't give it a final score. Editing me can give it a final score. Like and subscribe. Bye.